In this video, we're going to focus on how we can show and hide a relative strength index indicator. As you can see here, we have these here. And if I reset this one works. I do notice that there are just still some tiny issues here, like that, but we will cover in the next video of that. However, what we want to do here first is to understand how we can hide and show this item. So let's start to look at that. So now let's start to look at how we can hide our RSI indicator here. So luckily this is quite straightforward after some researching. So let me show you exactly how. First of all, we're going to make a separate checkbox here. Copy this, put that in there. And then I'm going to say here, this is the R for the relative strength index. And what I will do is, I'll say here this RSI. And here, I'm going to use this now. We're going to put in here what we call parameters. Or sorry, arguments. These are arguments. And later on, they will be parameters. So I'll just say here MA. And then BB for Bollinger Band. And then finally RSI. So then, I'm going to scroll down here. And let's look at the options. Because basically, we only need to adjust one item here. Or two items to be specific. But the core is this one here. You see here the stack weight. The stack weight defines how many pixels basically relative to the entire chart the Y scale will be. So this is 1 to 4 and this is 4, so in total is 1 of 5. So if I say here the ratio would be 0 and I save this and refresh, it just disappears. So we can do this, but then we need to update that. So I'm going to scroll down now here to our update function. And here I'm going to say here indicator as our parameter indicator. I'm going to grab this and this indicator update indicator. Alright, interesting. I don't know why it gives this error. Let me just save and refresh. What's going on here? Am I missing something? 5.9 indicator update function indicator. Let's see, why is this not working as expected? Of course, sorry, this is not a string variable. This is what we call a parameter, which is a variable. So then, all we have to do here is first of all check what is the indicator variable. So I'm going to grab this here and I'm going to say here, if, and I'm going to say here the indicator will be equal strict RSI. If that is the case, what I want to do then is I want to get the stack weight. And what I'm going to grab here is, let's see, where are we? What is the exact path towards that? So we go from options, config, options, and then we go down to scale, and then we go to the scale of Y lower, and then we can get here the stack weight. So let's do this. So I'm going to say here my chart dot config dot options dot, and I'm going to say here what is this one? That should be here these plugins dot scales dot Y lower. And then we're going to say here stack weight. And we can put in here the stack weight of 1. By doing this, I need to put it up at 0 as default. So we have this one here, and let's put the stack weight on the Y lower on 0 right now. I'm going to put it on 0, save that, refresh. Alright, so now you can see it's not showing. And if I do this, can I read Y lower? Alright, interesting. So let's see here, Y lower is on scales. Did I forget something? Scales, plugin, scales, Y lower. On number 600, my chart, config options. Let me double check. Oh, of course. We're not allowed to use plugins here because it's not a plugin, it's part of the scale. So that's my bad. Refresh. And then let me just remove that. Click on that. There we are. Of course, now we need to reset it and I need to remove that. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to grab the same here and just put this. If I'm going to reset everything, I want to say here equals 0. Save that. Refresh. Click. Reset. Alright. However, if I refresh, you can see here still something that I don't like. That is the 100, which is basically of a relative strength index, the upper line here. So I want to remove this 0. Or at least this 100 and only show the 0 here. So for that, what I'm going to do here is, let's copy this, put an enter here, and say here ticks dot display, and we're going to say this will be true, but of course if we're going to reset it, it will be set on false. Save, refresh. Alright, right now we still need to force it at the beginning, but if I do this and then reset, you can see it's 0. So that is fine, except here now we're going to go to the Y lower. So let's just search for it, Y lower. That's that one, and there, and is this it? No, here we are, Y lower. Alright, so here, what I'm going to say here in the ticks, enter, and I'm going to say here, display false by default. Save that. Refresh. Now you can see it doesn't display at all, and it starts on 0. Then I'm going to click on this. There we are. It shows it nicely, and we might maybe have a nice strong border here on top, but that's alright. That might be useful. I would just see maybe later a video for that. But if I reset this, there we are. Oh, and then as we reset this, I realize that this should of course be unchecked. Well, I'll make a separate function for that one, but that's alright. However, right now this looks beautiful and it works nice. So that's this part here. In the next video we're going to work with one of the other charts where we have a bar in there and there's another indicator. So let's start to look at that one in the next video.